Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here, and we are talking with the candidates for the Shelton City Council. And I have Joe Schmit here. Sorry, 3, 2. I'm doing this a different way this time, and this is the first one, so I got to think about how we're
Hey, no
setting
worries.
this up. Joe Schmit, council member number 6. 3, 2, 1. Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here, and we are talking with the candidates for the Shelton City Council, this historic expansion from the commission to a 7-person council. And running for the 6th position, I have Joe Schmit with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to talk with you here this morning. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my wife and I moved to Shelton about 8 years ago. After I separated from the Air Force, looking for a place to settle down and start our family. We're looking for a small community. And Shelton was on the map. I had just gotten hired at the state DOT in Olympia, and it was a great looking town to move to and start our family. And so we moved out here and been here for, like I said, the past 8 years or so. We've always been kind of engaged in the community and interested in public service. Obviously, prior military, now working for the state, and did some time as a volunteer firefighter in town as well. My wife is also military as well, and she's a nurse here in town. But yeah, we really love the city, and then just this time that's changing is really cool. It's kind of just been this really interesting initiative from the grassroots, from citizens, to see a real positive change in the government and the structure of the city. And we're just excited to have the privilege of being, somebody on the ballot, and hopefully in the position at some point.
So it is an exciting time. Is that one of the main things that got you interested in running for the council? And were you in favor of the expansion?
Yeah, absolutely. I was fully in favor of that. Like I said, I've been kind of paying attention to the city government and local government in general since I've been a resident here. And, there's some things that I agreed with, some things I didn't agree with throughout the process. And I was interested as to how 3 people could basically operate the town. And if you had a situation in a 2-to-1, then that would thwart progress in some cases. And I looked at it as there needs to be some more people up there, and you can tweet about things, you can post on Facebook about problems, but it's another thing to stand up and actually challenge and do something. And when I saw that initiative being pushed forward, I really started thinking very strongly about putting my name in the hat and trying for a position.
So what would you consider your platform to be? What do you hope to accomplish if you make it to the council?
So the big things right now, trust is a huge concern with citizens. Elected officials are entrusted to make good decisions with the revenues generated by the citizens. We live here, and we expect a high quality of service from those folks and from the city services in general. I think it's not going to be something easy to just instill trust in the public, but that's going to probably be like the number one priority here, is to work with the other 5 candidates, other 5 council members, and to really bring that trust back to the government here. And so that first and foremost, and I think that can be accomplished through a number of ways, but it's obviously doing what you say you're going to do and engaging the citizens as much as possible, giving them a platform to talk to you and being open and available as much as possible, and just doing, like I said, doing things and following through, and being a good steward of the position. A coworker of mine actually kind of brought up something that he remembered from a Lewis County representative or legislator. I don't know who the individual was offhand, but he said, so one interesting thing that he really liked as a characteristic of the person was every day he called people back who called him. Anybody who ever talked to him, he made a point to personally engage with that individual, and did it every single day. And that's one characteristic that I would look at and try to emulate as much as possible. I definitely want to be available to citizens, and I definitely want to be able to engage them and feel that I can be engaged, and and then take that forward and make something happen.
What are some of the problems? You've been here 8 years now or so, you said. What are some of the problems you see facing the city?
So obviously, a lot of citizens are concerned about the quality of pavement, economic development, the just basic infrastructure type things and operations of the city. I think there's been some really positive change at the city manager level over the past year. I've seen some really good change there, and with Ryan Wheaton and his staff and some of the things that he's implemented. I'd like to continue sort of moving that forward and working with other partners as much as possible to establish relationships and help get the citizens what they're looking for, which is a strong community that's sustainable. It'll sustain the economic booms and busts and the infrastructure that we drive on and up and down every day is going to be here, and it's going to be open and available and not impact our businesses in the community. So those are really the two sort of top two things. And I said, and maybe like a third part of my platform would be sort of focusing on getting the city's message out to the public as much as possible. Bringing, like I said, engaging the public a lot, sharing the nitty-gritty details of how things get accomplished, how much things cost, why things don't happen when they're supposed to happen or should happen. Just bringing a better general awareness to citizens as to how things work. And I think I could take my experience from working at the DOT, paving roads and fixing potholes and replacement of crumbling and failing infrastructure and keeping that going to keep the economy going in the state. I can take that and bring that down to the city level and really help out, kind of, like I said, get that message out and make some good decisions and make things happen.
He is running for the 6th position in the Shelton City Council, and his name's Joe Schmit. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Are you fed up with slow internet speeds? Give iFiber Communications a call. We know how important it is to have a secure, reliable connection. Give us a call at 360-427-4000 or visit ifiber.tv.